Which is better, cats or dogs? This is a question that has plagued mankind for an eternity. This is understandable, as both animals have their own pros and cons, such as dogs being more social and energetic, while cats are more independent and tend to be lower maintenance. Ultimately, which is better for you is determined by your lifestyle and personal preferences. But the real question that we should be asking ourselves is which one is better in Minecraft? Hello everybody, Richard Rogue here, and today we are going to explore what Minecraft's canines and felines are capable of to try and determine whether or not one is indeed better than the other. Without further ado, let's get right into this. First, let's take a look at cats. Introduced in Java version 1.2.1, cats could be obtained by taming ocelots using raw fish. Once an ocelot was tamed, it would become one of 3 random cat variants. This changed with Java version 1.14, where cats and ocelots were separated into unrelated mobs. This change affected all versions of the game, except for the 3DS edition, surprisingly enough. Alongside the domestic felines claiming their independence from the ocelots, several new variants of cat were introduced, giving more players the opportunity to acquire a cat in-game that matches their real-life pet. Anyways, now that our history lesson is over, it is time to get to the juicy details. Cats can be found in villages of both the naturally generated and player-created varieties. They can also be found lurking around witch huts upon world generation. Upon spawning in, a cat is considered stray, unless said cat is the result of 2 tamed cats breeding. In order to tame one, a player must slowly approach the stray while holding either raw cod or raw salmon. If the player attempts to approach without a raw fish in hand, or they make any sudden moves, then the would-be pet cat will run away. Once a player has successfully approached the stray cat, they may commence cramming fish down the feline's throat until they decide that they like the player. Players will have a 1 in 3 chance of taming a cat while feeding them, so definitely be sure to bring several fishy treats so that you can bag the cat of your dreams. Once a kitty has been successfully acquired, it will follow the player around and can be commanded to stand and sit. While having a cat or 2 around, players will not have to worry about creepers or phantoms, as they will scare off both mobs by hissing and growling at them. Another benefit of keeping a cat around is that they can sometimes bring the player gifts whenever they wake up from a good night's sleep. These gifts can be found near the player's bed when they get up, and they can range from items such as string and rotten flesh, to things such as rabbit's feet and even phantom membranes. Now, while the actual gameplay benefits of the cat stop here, Minecraft's felines have several fun little quirks implemented into the game that help to sell that these rectangular, 4-legged goblins are indeed cats. These behaviors include bumbling around the player's immediate area while standing, sitting on beds and lit furnaces, getting up on chests and preventing players from opening them, and refusing to move when put on a lead. These behaviors do such a fantastic job of capturing the chaotic nature of these little shits that it's hard to not like them and perhaps even favor them over dogs. However, we cannot say for sure until we take a look at the competition, so let's do that. Dogs, or wolves as they're referred to in-game and by Mojang, were introduced in the beta 1.4 release of Java Edition. Untamed wolves can be found by visiting one of the many wooded biomes in Minecraft, making them easier to find than cats. Once the player has located a wolf, they simply need to tame it to claim it as their own. Besides having additional variants and equipable armor being added in later versions, the wolf has remained mostly unchanged throughout the years since its introduction. When the player finds a wolf that they want to tame, they can simply approach it and feed it bones for a 1 in 3 chance to tame it. Like cats, wolves, when tamed, can follow the player and be commanded to stand and sit. This is where the similarities end, as wolves tend to do a fair bit more gameplay-wise than their feline counterparts. You see, Instead of simply scaring off a select few mobs and bringing the player miscellaneous items, wolves will instead attack any players and or mobs that try to hurt its owner, with ghasts and creepers being the only exceptions.
Are you sure this is safe?
Oh yeah, totally. Watch.
Oh.
They will also attack mobs and players that its owner attacks and will kill skeletons unprovoked. Since wolves tend to see a fair bit of combat, players can feed them a wide variety of meats to heal them, such as raw chicken and rotten flesh. Cats can also be healed by feeding them, but this can only be done with raw fish. Something else unique about wolves is that their tails can indicate how much health they have, with a raised tail telegraphing that the wolf is at full health, while a drooping tail signifies low health. Another way for players to keep their beloved canines alive is by crafting wolf armor using armadillo scutes, which are dropped by armadillos, found in the savanna biome, every few minutes, or by brushing them using, you guessed it, a brush. While a wolf is wearing armor, they are immune to all physical sources of damage until the armor is either removed or breaks. Like cats, wolves have a variety of behaviors implemented into the game that are meant to make them feel like the real deal. These behaviors include shaking off after either swimming or being out in the rain, begging for treats, and the upcoming, as of the recording of this video, addition of unique sounds based on the dog's personality. While wolves may not seem as expressive as cats in Minecraft, I feel that this is because a lot of their behaviors are reflected in what they do during gameplay, rather than stuff that they do passively in the background. Now, deciding whether the cat is better than the dog, or the dog is better than the cat, is a rather difficult decision. This is because both fill their own niche within Minecraft. Cats may not be suited for combat, but they are definitely great to keep around if you want to protect your builds, whereas wolves are great for adventuring and combat, but not much else. Ultimately, which mob is the best to you is going to depend on how you spend most of your time in Minecraft, building or exploring. In short, the pet that is best for you is based on your lifestyle and personal preferences within Minecraft. Because I spend a lot more time in Minecraft building instead of exploring, and also because I'm a huge cat guy in real life, I have to go with the cat. Sure, they may be more difficult to acquire than dogs, and they don't actively do a lot in game, but I can't help but love them. They're just so adorable, and all their behaviors, as well as the fact that they don't do much in game, does so much to make them feel like my in-game cat is indeed a real cat. Well, now that I've presented you, the viewer, with the facts and my own personal opinion, I want to know which one you think is better in Minecraft. Cats or dogs? Please feel free to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. This is Richard Rogue, signing off. Thanks for watching, and have a good one, everybody.